RaceNuts podcast, episode 13. Ash, mate, been away for a little while,
Yeah,
and there's been a bit going on.
Mate, the amount of tabs I have up right now with the articles, and this is only my half of the articles to cover. Yeah, being away for a while would be an understatement in terms of
Yeah,
podcasts. Been keeping a tab on everything, enjoying, watching everything, but
if anything, I've cut a lot of stuff down, so like I won't be
yeah,
doing my traditional race lap by lap count through because we've got
no.
about three major events to roll through.
On that note, though, you did when you were over here the other day and we were watching Darwin the race one at Darwin. You did leave your notebook here, mate. So you were never
Yeah, I
going to get
know.
those notes going, eh?
Yeah, no. At that point, I thought we got TCR, Trans Am,
Yeah,
the Canadian Grand Prix, and Darwin to cover. I haven't even got notes up for Le Mans 24.
yeah. Well,
So at that point, the race review just went out the window.
yeah, absolutely. Alright, well, we might as well get stuck into it. So here for our program, we're gonna fucking kick off with Speed Series, and they were at the Bend. Now I saw a couple photos of this, and just general videos and all that kind of shit. It looks like it was just a good weekend for all involved. I believe there was one point though as well where Thomas Randall got or had an attempt at lap record in his Saab. I
Yeah,
saw,
and that overpowered as fuck Saab.
yeah, I'm pretty sure he got it at Sandown, but I don't actually know what came of it. I just know I saw
No,
a bunch of hype for
I,
it, but I'm not sure if he actually
I,
got it.
I remember it being at Sandown where it just owned
Oh yeah,
everything in touch.
it just minced, yeah. And I mean Randall behind the wheel too. It's gonna do that.
Yeah.
But
But
anyway,
we'll kick off with the TCR races. So Jordan Cox and Zach Suter split the two races with Cox winning race 1 and Suter winning race 2 and 3.
yep.
Um,
Just Bouchan, is it? Is that you say?
Josh Buckham.
Oh God, I
Yeah, you
got that
missed
horribly.
that, mate.
Yeah. Josh Buchan, he saw the podium throughout all three races, between third and second. That's a
Yeah,
good weekend.
I think he won the round too, because they were saying on the broadcast they've switched from a podium to podium race system to a round system, sort of like what we used to see in supercars.
Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously it still wins, still podiums, but only the round sort of gets recognised within the whole podium
Oh, okay. Yeah.
ceremony.
Yeah.
But that just Suter extending his lead over Josh Buchan. Suter leads with 414 points. Buchan not far behind.
21
Only
points down.
21 behind. And Ben Barwaga 30. I fucking butchered that.
31 points down. But
31 points
having
down,
said Ben Barguana there, now I don't know the full placings
Barguana.
of bleh, of each race, but he didn't get a podium that weekend at the Bend actually.
No, it's
So
a bit of a rough one. I feel I've got it. I do have the notes here somewhere.
yeah,
I think he got tangled up with Richards at some point.
yeah.
I'm
Well,
not
I know
really sure what
Clay's.
he said, yeah.
I believe Clay is now committed to the full
Yeah.
season.
Clay was having a good one with Clay was having a good one, and then I know in the third race there was a big tangle up on the second lap, which Clay got involved with. I think it might have been a 3-1 between him, the other Harris brother whose first name's escaped me, and
I want to say
and
Brad or something. Does
nah,
that sound
Brad's
right?
the one that was on the podium. There's no one that's I want to say Alex, maybe Alex Harris.
Just
I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
keep going. I'll find it. I'll do that
Yeah,
mid
it was a
podcast
3-1 off the top of my memory, and that led to a retirement of Richards with some steering issues. The third car was Tony D'Alberto. That was the third car involved in that incident. With the Trans Am stuff, while you're finding that, I
Just
did watch the
wait
first.
here. Sorry. Will Harris is.
Will Harris, that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe on the Trans Am, so I watched most of the Trans Am races. I gave up pretty quickly on trying to keep notes. Anyway,
Yeah, it's so
because
chaotic all the
so
time.
chaotic. Big thing out of the weekend was really the big drama out of race one was as the safety car was called with a couple laps to go, Todd Hazelwood was making the move on James Moffat for the lead. He did this under yellow, plain and simple.
Yeah.
However, the argument, well, not even an argument, very clear to see why it happened. It was Hazelwood was right underneath the rear wing of Moffat as he made the move as the safety car was called, so he wouldn't have been looking at the marshal points. And I believe the Trans Am cars don't have the supercar styled heads up display.
Yeah.
Where it'll go, they wouldn't know it's a safety car till it's either seen the marshal point or hear it on the radio. So that's all it is. It's pretty plain up. Apparently, I haven't seen the footage. Apparently, Hazelwood did try to return the position,
Yeah.
but Moffat refused to pass. This was 2 laps to go, so the race was over.
Yeah.
The stewards decided instead of giving Hazelwood a straight penalty, understanding the circumstances of it being such a at that exact moment sort of thing.
Yeah, just perfectly timed everything.
Yeah, I think literally they pulled the boards out as Hazelwood made the move to go on the inside.
Yeah, teed it up.
Yeah.
I mean,
so,
when you're already that far invested, you're not really focusing on much else besides what you're trying to achieve and doing it safely.
Yeah, so instead of giving him like a 5-second or pit lane penalty, something that would have ruined his race with the safety car.
Yeah.
They just reversed position, so that did rob Hazelwood of his first Trans Am win.
Yeah, good on him. It's been he only started this year, didn't he? In Trans Am?
Yes.
Yeah.
But that race one went to James Moffat, but Hazelwood did come back to win race 2 and 3.
Yeah.
With Moffat winning, with Jordan Boys winning race 4 ahead of Moffat. Moffat's pretty much ran second every race except for race 1 which he won.
I did see that. Yeah, he's going alright, isn't it?
Yeah, Golding was out and about too, claiming a podium in race 4.
Yep.
Nathan Hearn's back from America, so he's on the podium again. He was actually saying on the commentary about how much harder it is from when he left to when he came back. He was saying when he left that if he had a bad qualifying and was starting 10th, it would be just a recovery to a podium would just be a given.
Yeah.
Where the category's moved so much since he's left and come back that it's actually really hard to keep up with everyone. So that's good.
That's a really good sign.
Yeah. Golding was, I think I already mentioned him, Golding was out and about, claimed the podium in race 4.
Yeah.
And it shows in the standings, James Moffat leads with 518 points, Golding not far behind,
and Todd
41 points behind. Oh yeah, Todd
both 41.
Both equaled 41 points behind.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's all for Speed series that we have. So we'll...
Actually no, before we go, so there was originally meant to be 2 no winter. So obviously there was no winter round this year. There meant to be 2 races at Queenstown Raceway.
Yeah.
The second event has been folded in from a couple of reasons: lack of entrance and a lack of people coming to the second event. It is lined up with the Sydney Super Night, so you can imagine a lot of that, Golding obviously is going to be at the Super Night, not the Speed Series round all that. So they've just folded that. A little bit disappointing, but then the organisers have the circuit's organised for there to be a XL endurance race to fill that void.
Ah, yeah.
So that's really the only Speed Series stuff we've got going. Actually, this might have happened between where we've been gone. Have we talked about the Bathurst International?
I'm not sure, but
I don't think
I know that it's not happening.
Yeah, it's gone. So
yeah. Here we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, this is
just
going to be the
I've
last one.
I've just found the article for it on the TCR website. Yeah, so they're just saying it's been will be held for the third and final time in 24.
Yep.
It's they've brought it down to increasing challenges of attracting high-level international motorsport content, which that seems like a very PR way of saying it's fucked.
Yeah. It was always struggling, like... But it's not really officially the first one. It was good when they had the Super Week, which I partially went to in 21, where they had the Bathurst International... Like, they had all the Trans-Am stuff the week before the 1000.
Yeah.
So I got up there and I got to watch like literally the last 2 or 3 races of the Trans-Am with with the S5000s and all that, and then it went full supercars. So
Yeah, that's a real shame though, because that was a really good TCR race to watch.
Yeah, but I
I'm
think
glad
definitely
we'll be able to
the
watch it
fact
this
that
year.
the international category didn't come back probably was a pretty big nail in the coffin. They said they planned to come back in 25, but obviously that's a moot point now.
That's kind of past the point of where we're already struggling. We need you guys to be here, or else we can't do anything. But yeah, I think as far as TCR and Speed Series and all that goes, that's pretty well sums it up.
It's in a worrying place. I'm worried for that category.
Yeah, it looked so strong at the start of the year too, coming off the back of 2023.
Yeah.
Like, it looked really good. Like, I thought they were just growing. Some big names like Richards came in. And it was being noted by who was driving. Like, people were like, oh, this bloke's driving a TCR. And then they ended up in a Super 2 drive or something.
Yeah, like Aaron Cameron.
Yeah. And
Aaron Cameron made that jump.
Yeah. So
we'll move on to Formula 1 Canadian Grand Prix. Always a good event in Canada.
Yeah. Before we dive too deep into the Canadian Grand Prix itself, I sent you the other day this a screenshot of what Fox had put up, the media outlet, and they
Fox Sports, the channel here in Australia.
Nah, well, it wasn't them directly, but it was that.
I know the one you're referring to.
Yeah, it was the one where they compared Sail GP and Formula One. I think they did it for the fucking sake of it, to be honest. And they had like all these different things of prize money comparisons. They were direct comparisons with straight numbers, top speeds and stuff. And I'm just gonna kind of say what the fuck for the sake of. They put F1's top speed at 233 kilometers, and you and I both know they go shit faster than that at top speed.
Yeah, I think they've already done one or two things. They've either straight mixed kilometers and miles.
Yeah.
Or that they've put up an average top speed. Because if you probably looked at most racetracks, that's probably their average across a lap.
But they didn't say that. That's my argument to that.
They didn't say that. Yeah, that's their... Bro, if you want to hurt yourself, pull up Fox Sports, their Facebook page, and it just... it's painful.
I'm going to save myself the pain. Like, I've seen a couple of their articles pop up here and there. I'm just like, they're all very clickbaity. It's like, why? Why clickbait?
Yeah.
But yeah.
The only thing worse than that is when the Grand Prix rolls around every year and you get all the mainstream media talking about it. And they
act like they
every
know
fucking name.
Yeah. It's like at least they could follow it for the last few races that happened, whether it's like for instance next year.
Alpine always gets called Alpine. I think when Leclerc won in 22, I watched. It might have been Channel 10, and it was like the winner was Frenchman Charlie Leclerc. Okay, well done, dickheads.
I hated that. I hated that when you said that. That
Yeah.
was oh, that was bad.
And this reporter said it at the track, like did one
Yeah.
of those two camera shots with like the crowd leaving in the background.
Ugh.
And I was like, oh, one, he's Monegasque, not French.
Yeah.
It's Charles or
Yeah.
Charles
Charles
Leclerc.
Leclerc. Yeah.
Ugh.
You gotta say it like you making love to the name. That's how you're
I
gonna
don't,
do it, I
even when
reckon.
even when Piastri came on the scene, a lot of it was pastry or pastry. It's like that. I'd have to admit one thing though. It's almost like a given. You got to have a fucking weird name to make Formula One now. That's what I reckon. That's what I reckon. Doing. He'll race. I
Oh,
reckon he'll race
yeah.
because he's got a fucking weird name. Like nah, seriously,
It's
like,
not
think
like
about,
it's not Smith, William.
that's what I mean. Like
Just a
probably
very classic
Hamilton's
name.
probably the most normal every person day name on the grid at the moment. Think about
But
it.
even then, it sounds like fucking royalty.
Yeah,
Lewis Hamilton.
like think about Albon. I've never met an Albon.
No.
Ricardo. Never met Ricardo. Never met a Piastri.
I
A
think I
Magnussen?
might be able to put this
A
down to one
Hulkenberg?
thing, mate. We live in Australia, and a lot of these blokes are European. Or
European names.
families come down from European roots or whatever, you know.
I saw a meme a while ago of what was it? It was like it was like a graphic showing all these great German drivers, like mostly just like Vettel and Schumacher, and I can't name any other ones, but mainly those two and other ones over here and there. And like just the comments just full of going like, yeah, but don't follow the name back. You'd be surprised what that name was doing in the 40s. And I was like, that's a bit of head noise.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, we've diverted a little
We
bit.
got on cut. Pole position. George Russell edged out Max Verstappen with the exact same time
Just right.
for
Just right. What? Okay. Yep.
so both George Russell and Max Verstappen did the exact same lap
down
time
down to the hundredths.
down to the 10th. Was it 10th?
Yeah.
100th? Yeah, down to the thousandths.
Yeah.
But because Russell did it first, he got pole position out. Somewhere
Yeah.
in the timing system, there is like in the media box, there is a way to time it down even smaller. But then, as Ted from Sky Sports was explaining, like technically you could do that, but also
Yeah.
we're talking about like millimeters of where's the timing box and stuff like that, and then it just gets messy. So someone at Formula One really knows the true answer of who was on pole,
Yeah.
but it's such a microscopic, difficult to read scale
Yeah.
that, and it obviously it doesn't get made public.
It's just not fucking worth it in the end.
No.
Just keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah. So did you watch this race?
No, I was actually I was away camping that weekend, so I missed all of it. I didn't have a clue, and I wasn't in reception or anything. So
You should rewatch it because it's pretty. I wouldn't say it's wild. Like it's definitely not 2012 level.
Yeah.
Of crazy, but there was a while there where Russell was on charge and just overtook George and Max. George led from the start, overtook them both for the lead for a little while, and then there was a safety car because I think it might have been who came off. Oh, it was Sargent. Sargent had a spin, predictably.
If I'm correct, like I know you might be getting up to it, but didn't Albon pass two people in the same
Oh,
like
yeah.
100 meter stretch or something, like 200 meter stretch?
The problem is that my notes are at your house. Yeah, no, there was this whole thing where Albon got past Ricardo, like got really under his rear wing, got past him. This is pretty much all wet conditions throughout the entire race on intermediates. He got past Ricardo and then outbraked himself, and it was a case of sort of either past Magnussen, bail to the runoff, which he was on the inside line,
Yeah.
or fucking just crashing the Magnussen. So he managed to just sneak past Magnussen, and Magnussen gave him enough space to to get by.
Yeah. I'm pretty
Um,
sure Ricardo fucking loved it too. I'm pretty
yeah, he
sure
was very.
Albon got a jumper, one of his jumpers for him and
Yeah,
shit.
I think he got. I think he gave him a free jumper from his
Yeah.
Enchanted line,
Yeah.
something like that. But yeah, that pretty much. So Lando was looking pretty good on for a win here until that safety car, where for some reason McLaren just kept him out for one more lap, which allowed everyone to stop behind him.
Yeah.
Which means by the time that he got back around, he dropped back down the third, and he would slowly. He pretty much just stayed there. I think he slipped behind. Oh no, sorry, he dropped down the fifth behind the Mercedes, but he managed to get past the Mercs.
Yep.
At some point. Verstappen led from that point, which was, looked like a pretty standard race from there until. What was it? Oh, until we're faced with a limping. Until we're faced with a limping Sergio Perez with no rear wing. I think it might have been turn 6. Sergio just lost it, backed it in to the wall. The team's on the radio saying for Sergio to stop because, one, it's dangerous. This rear wing's hanging off and shit's flying everywhere as he's trying to drive back to the pits.
Yeah.
As well as a safety car safety car won't help Max at this point. So the team really want Sergio to pull off into a safe spot, which he doesn't. He drives back to the pits because, hey, he's got a 2-year contract now. He can just do what the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
In the classic Sergio style of drive like a beast while you're out of contract and then just go back to pure dog shit as soon as you've got a 2-year deal. Which, for all this worry about safety car, turned out to be all mute from Red Bull when pretty much the same lap or the lap after we're faced with a backwards Ferrari, which is, pretty standard. And then also faced with a second Williams in the wall.
Being Sargent, is it?
No, Sargent's already been in the wall. He's already out at this point. It's Albon, actually, so... it's had an absolute mind blank. Carlos Sainz has had a spin across the grass.
Yep.
Albon slowed right down trying to drive around him, but he's just been wrong place, wrong time when sort of the Ferrari flips back around and clips him on the rear tyre, setting him into the wall and breaking his suspension, and that was that. Carlos did manage to keep going, but they eventually retired him along with Leclerc. The Ferrari just had a whole shit weekend. They qualified, they were out in Q2. Leclerc had some engine issue, which forced him, I think it might have been under the safety car. He came into the opportunity to come in, full stop the car, reset it. They put him on hard just to see if that would work off the safety car to go on slicks. That didn't work either, so they retired him, and then that was the end of Carlos's race.
Why'd they even show up at Montreal?
Yeah, pretty much. It was just an absolute shitstorm.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much the race from their point. I'm probably forgetting a lot of shit, but that was the main of it. Oh, yeah, Yuki Tsunoda had a near miss when he went off the track, tried to make the bollard, spun, and almost got collected by one of the Hasses.
Yeah.
So that was a whole thing. But like I said, you probably should watch this race when you get some time, or at least
I probably should. It sounds, I don't know, not full on, but just a lot happening. There
was a lot happening. I had a lot of notes.
Yeah.
They're all at your house.
Yeah, good. Glad you can read them from there, mate.
Yeah. On the Ricardo thing, so the weekend started, so they had 1996, 97. I want to say 97. World champion Jacques Villeneuve. Obviously, he's there because he's Canadian, and the circuit Villeneuve is named after his father.
Yep.
So he was there, and the topic of Ricardo came up, and Ricardo's struggles, and Jacques Villeneuve, which, let's just say he did a combined total of fuck all after 97.
Yeah.
And has also done some weird shit. Like, he released an album at one point, he started playing hockey. The guy needed...
He was just trying to find something.
I guess so. It got really weird. should watch the Josh Rebel video about it.
Maybe I will. Maybe I
But
will.
anyway, so he just unloads on Ricardo.
Mm.
Just, oh, why is he still here? He should be gone, blah, blah, blah. And what he said wasn't wrong, but also what he said probably could have also applied to half the grid. About, oh, it's been so long here, you've done this, done that.
Yeah.
You haven't achieved anything in the last 2 years, you should be gone.
There'd only be one reason you go after Ricardo, and because there's such a big personality on the grid, is because you're trying to stay relevant by talking about him.
Oh, like I said, watch that Josh Rebel video when you're done here. I might send you the link. He's pretty much known to be a massive cunt.
Oh, okay.
But Ricardo just pretty much played going like, I've got no comment. He goes, he can do what he likes. I'm living my life. He can live his.
Yeah.
Because of course the media tries to immediately start something out of this.
Yeah.
But they didn't need to because
I would.
Ricardo didn't have to do anything because there's Ricardo stands out there like these super fans that just live for Ricardo.
Yeah.
So I think it might have been maybe not even 24 hours after these comments, and screenshots start going around of Jeffrey Epstein's little black book with multiple entries of Jacques Villeneuve being on the plane. And it's like, what were you doing? What were you doing in 2004, Jacques Villeneuve?
Fuck. Some people keep some bullshit in their back pockets, and like, God knows when it's ever going to be relevant in their lifetime, but they just pull this kind of shit out. They're like,
oh, it's wild.
You said this. I love this person. I'm a huge fan of this person. Whatever. And they're just like, I don't know. It's like people have their own black book of stuff to just fuck someone else up.
It's wild about like it's like shit. Remember that journalist that had a go at the Bulldogs coach a few years ago?
Oh yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
But it was like the Bevo got into him and the guy responded like, "Well, Fox backs me because Bevo called me out on being a shit journalist."
Yeah.
And then within 24 hours,
within 12 hours.
With 12 hours, leaked screenshots of that journalist calling one of his female colleagues derogatory and sexist names were leaked, and his career fucking ended.
It just shit the bed straight there. That's an iconic part of time. But in terms of F1 Canada, I think that's everything, if I'm not wrong.
I think that's everything. Also, Ricardo did qualify 5th.
Yeah.
So after Jacques Villeneuve's comments, he did drop down to eventually 12th.
Yeah.
I'm reading the wrong standings. I don't have actually. Sorry, he finished 8th. My mistake.
Oh, okay.
Oscar Piastri finished 6th.
Damn. Fuck. Got them numbers up. Yeah, I think that's all for F1 until we get into a couple of the articles.
Yeah, I'll just go over the results. So first, second, third, Max Verstappen finally wins a race after a little while. Lando Norris recovers for another podium, second. I believe off the top of my head this is his 17th podium. So they're getting up there. It was looking like that Hamilton was going to have his first podium since Abu Dhabi 2021. No?
Damn. He's been in a fucking drought, that boy.
No, I reckon I'm wrong there. Surely he's had a podium since. Anyway, it's been a fucking long time. He definitely hasn't had one this year. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had one last year. My mistake. But it would have been his first podium of the year, but George Russell pipped him on the second or third last lap to take that third position.
Yeah.
The driving standings, Verstappen extends his lead over Charles Leclerc by 56 points. Lando Norris is now in third, 63 points behind the leader. In the team standings, Red Bull Racing are now 301 points. Scuderia Ferrari gained no points, so despite only being 25 points away a few races ago, they now dropped to minus 49 points. McLaren now firmly in third, only 89 points behind Red Bull Oracle Racing.
Damn. I mean, it's kind of starting to turn on a bit, the competition.
Well, I was listening to one of the his name escapes me, but he's a former engineer. He does work for the Race.com and their podcast.
Yeah.
He used to work for Benetton and all that, so he used to work with Michael Schumacher and all this stuff. So
yeah, he's been around. Yeah.
He's been around as we talking about, and what he was saying was what a lot of people in that community believes is that these regulations were never meant to be long term. These were meant to be just be initial regulations to break the hybrid way, pretty much just to end the Mercedes domination and break it up a little bit, and then where we are now, the 26 rules, which we'll get into soon.
Yeah.
Sort of take it from there. But because these rules are so short formatted that that pretty much Red Bull has hit the ceiling. And they're still trying different things, but whatever they're trying isn't really going fast. So it's not more that Red Bull's slipping back, it's more Red Bull's hit the ceiling of these regulations, and now Ferrari and McLaren are starting to catch up.
Yeah, they're high up on the
because Red Bull
ladder.
can't go any further.
Yeah. Okay.
So should we rip in the Darwin, mate?
Yeah, fuck it, why not? It was a good weekend of racing. I feel like I've said it a million times before, but I love Hidden Valley. I reckon it's a
good
ripper of a track. Yeah. So for Darwin, we had. I don't actually fucking know what other categories were. Oh no, there was like Touring Car Masters. Were Super 2 there? I don't feel like they were there. The V8 trucks, the Utes were there.
V8 Utes were there.
Yeah.
Touring Car Masters.
Oh, something else. There's got to be something. Production?
Speeds. Yeah, production.
Yeah, there was like a whole fucking mixed, like, it was... There was like a 30-car grid for one.
It was like improved production, yeah.
Yeah, it was improved production, and it had XLs and everything within that category as well. And I remember there was one bloke in a Mazda who just dominated that. But for the V8s, practice never really told us too much. So
practice was practice. I think if we're going to move along the other weekend, you can't, for the first set of qualifyings for race 11, you can't really go past, I've written race 11 here twice here, Ash, in the notes, so just be aware of that. One is race 12.
You know, I'm going to change that right now.
That's because I copy and paste, because I'm fucking lazy. James Golding from Premier Racing just smacks it on pole.
Oh, dude, he was unreal. Like, I don't know, he pulled it out his ass. Obviously, after the Trans Am had Speed Series a couple weeks prior, but he must have gone, fuck it, I'm going fast this weekend, and the team must have just hit the nail on the head with setup.
There's definitely something about Hidden Valley that really suited the Camaro teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, so it was good to see Golding getting up there. It was good to see just it was finally a bit of stride for the Premier team, because they've always had a lot of potential, just haven't been able to put it together till now.
Yeah, hopefully they can continue that. Like, it's okay if they drop off, hit and miss kind of thing, but they might be the next up and comer to be challenging Red Bull if they just learn what Red Bull's been doing. And
they are Triple 8 built cars too.
Yeah. So
which they're all cars are identical under the skin, but with such minute changes, the fact they're built by Triple 8 could mean the world. Yeah,
it could just mean this bolt was put in a bit better, or they just know something.
It's just some magical shit.
Yeah, something in the process of it all. You know, they might just do something a little differently. They might talk something a little differently, or whatever.
So, and we'll get back to how Triple 8 do things a little bit later for qualifying for race 2. But unfortunately, Golding did lead off the start for a few laps, but Brock Fenny had enough of that at one point. Gave him a little bit of hip and shoulder at turn 5, and that was that.
Turn 6, isn't it?
Turn 6, which allowed him and Frost to get by. pretty much. Eventually, Will Brown got past him too, but I think that might be under the pit stops. But you can't talk about race 11 without talking about Walkinshaw Andretti, Chaz Mostert. Walkinshaw had a horror qualifying again.
Yeah, it's like
20th and 21st.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking ordinary.
It was until, I don't know what, 10 laps in. There's been no safety cars, so all green flag racing. Chaz Mostert, who started 25th, is now in the top 10.
Yeah.
Because he just stormed through. Yeah, so he gained 17 positions in race 11.
And he, like, off the Friday, because they qualified on the Friday, he had taken note, and on socials and whatever, he said he just got to do a lot of overtaking on Saturday, which he did, but he had also said back in his karting days, his dad would get him a cheeseburger every time that he did get a pass on someone. And obviously, like, those karting races were probably, like, I don't know, up to 12 or 15 or so competitors. But now he's gone and up a whole field of supercars, which is just fucking insane.
Yeah, they went to McDonald's, they brought 17 cheeseburgers for the crew.
Yeah, and that was all over their socials. That was really fun to see. Them following through with it.
So, no, that was unreal. Another thing from race 11, so obviously Kosteki's back in the number one.
Yep.
Bad stuff from there. The car struggled to start on the dummy grid and really struggled to limp around back to the pits. To start the race, would have had to be a pit lane start from that point, from the fact they didn't start on the grid. Which they just retired the whole car because obviously there was something wrong with the engine. They'd been having troubles previous in the weekend, and Erebus were concerned about the strain that had been going through the transmission during that in-lap.
Yeah.
So, the reigning champs just did not start race 11 at all. This caused a bit of concern up and down the grid for certain cars. I think that they changed the engines on the Brock as well.
Yeah.
For safety, and then a few other teams as well. I think Heingartner, Bryce Forward, and maybe Percat also had engine changes out of some concern there.
Yeah.
Which I think it's RMK, the mob that makes the Camaro engines, are investigating what's happened there. None team said it was anything major. It was just
you don't.
They had some worrying data and
yeah,
for the sake of a couple of hours job, just change it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So qualifying for race 12, as much as Golding was a great standout for qualifying in race 12, you can't go past rookie Cooper Murray. It's his first race weekend in a supercar. He's running the 888 wild card entry this weekend, as it will be later in the year when he drives with Craig Lowndes.
Yep.
Now, of course, teams are allowed to share data in supercars, obviously amongst themselves, but also certain teams like Premier have arrangements with, maybe 888 to see what their data is like. The wildcard team took a lot of data from the main two boys of Brock Fenny and Will Brown.
Yeah.
This allowed Cooper Murray to blaze out in qualifying initially, put himself in the top 10 shootout with the second fastest Red Bull car.
Yep.
888 car. Unfortunately, the pressure sort of got to him during the shootout, and he fell to 10th. But still an awesome start from a rookie.
Yeah. And I love the team. They were saying they're just proud for him to have that experience, being out there by himself. And
just to even be up in 10th was awesome. And he had so much around him. So, like, he's coming off that disqualification in Perth from that incident with Cameron McLeod.
Yeah.
When he with the rollover and all that, so he's got a lot of head noise. But to come out in race 12, be in the top 10, unfortunately, mentioned quickly, Brock Fenny did take pole for that race in the end after the top 10 shootout. Unfortunately, it wasn't going to last long. First lap, turn 4 or 5. Tanglement with, was it Percat? Was it Cameron Hill? I believe it was Cameron Hill. There's a bit of wheel locking. Cameron Hill sort of rode up the side of Murray's car, and almost rolling in his own right, doing pretty significant damage to the Triple Eight Camaro. They did get it back out after doing extensive repairs, but he came out 4 laps down, just pretty much just around laps. So that was a little bit of a disappointing finish for an awesome qualifying. With a few other tangles, I think Randall had tangles with. I'm trying to remember who Randall.
Didn't actually really see much of Randall over the weekend.
Yeah, but he had a big tangle with someone. I'm trying to remember who it was. I want to say maybe Goldie, but I don't know. I think we can't go past another poor qualifying for WAU again. Unfortunately, they didn't recover this time as much. Chaz only recovered to 15th by the end, and that's with 2 cars pretty much been taken out. Behind him. Adrian Heingarner, that was the car Murray tangled with.
Good job, mate.
But cheers, mate. It's only sort of what we do. Bro Kostecki actually, for once, had Erebus had a good qualifying. Bro Kostecki put it second on the front row for race 12. Will Brown did get him for second, but he managed to remain third. So it's kind of crazy to think we're talking literally the halfway point of the season and the first podium for the reigning champ and the reigning team.
Yeah, it's trash. It's fucking.
It's
trash.
It's fucking bad. I remember saying someone commented one of the supercar groups going like, "Oh, do you think Brody will take the 99 next year when he's no longer champion?" And I commented under it going like Brody Kostecki staying at Erebus next year is about as likely as an SVG return.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
SVG is more likely to end up in that car.
I'm more likely to be elected US president before Brody Kostecki signs another Erebus deal.
It's not happening. That bloke's fucking miserable there.
He's gone.
Yeah.
In the words of Luke Coombs, he is going.
Absolutely.
But no, it's good to see him back on the podium. Which I haven't seen the press conference yet, because obviously if you make a podium, you're in the press conference for that day.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but apparently, obviously, a lot of journalists took the opportunity to ask Brody straight about the Erebus situation.
Yeah.
And the good old no comment line was just getting rolled out a fair bit, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, it'd just be fucking shit. I don't know, I'd fucking hate to be in his situation.
Oh, it'd suck ass. It would suck ass, especially like, I must just be bad as like being all these mates that know really what's going on but can't say shit.
Yeah. And I hope for his sake his mental health doesn't take a fucking toll off it. Yeah,
I think wherever he goes next year is going to be heaps better.
Yeah. Hopefully a Will Brown situation. He finds himself in a competitive car. Seems bloody happy there too. And just keen to get on with the job at hand and just straight into the championship. Right where he belongs, kind of thing.
So, I think we'll leave supercars there because nothing's come on top of my head that we won't cover in news. Now,
just drag us back to supercars.
I'm getting to it.
Nah, fuck you.
Yeah, I know, fuck you. I've got a system. Fuck you. That's going to sound great on the audio because no one's going to be watching the video. Leaving race 12, Brock Feeney wins both races. Will Brown comes home second. So he's lost a little bit of his lead, but nothing crazy. Look, if a bad weekend is that you're on the podium, that's still a good weekend on your way to a championship. Bro Kostecki, as we said, comes home third for his first podium of the year. In the standings, Will Brown continues to lead with 1,353 points. Brock Feeney not far behind with 108 points. Not far behind. Only behind by 108 points. I need to write this better next time I do this.
You need to just read it better.
I just need to be better.
Yeah.
Chaz Mostert holds on the third, only 279 points behind the leaders. In the team standings, Triple Eight Race Engineering continue their lead with 2,568 points. Walker Try and Andretti United slip a fair bit, falling back falling back 920 points behind, getting dangerously close to being overtaken by Dick Johnson Racing, which are only 959 points behind the leading team. Right, Ash. I've got a thing here that says Ash's thing. So what is your thing?
Well, I've got a couple things actually. One, first out to Macaulay. Shout out to Macaulay Jones for following our TikTok. That was exciting to see. As you described yesterday,
I almost coughed up my coffee.
yeah, well, your coffee. You didn't have, mate. You would have been drinking your Woodstock, say. Bloody Chaz Monster's sponsor got the better of you, and now
it's not really the better of me. It's the fact that I can buy Woodstock doubles for the price of standard Jack Daniels.
All right. Well, that's a good.
It's more Jack Daniels lost me.
Oh, that's a big statement. But anyway, we're not here to talk about alcohol. Maybe
unless you're looking to slap some stickers and send some Woodstocks my way, in that case, we'll do a lot of talking about alcohol. That's getting cut out. Never mind.
No, that stays. That stays. My thing is, so I've been talking to me boss a bit, and he's followed supercars for. I don't know if I brought this up on the podcast before, but he's followed supercars for about, let's say, a healthy 25 years. Let's say that amount of time, and whether that's
I wouldn't say completely healthy. I've heard his views on Fords.
Yeah, no, Holden's.
No, sorry,
is a
Holden's.
Ford man.
Good.
And you know, just so he's grown up with, like you and I we'll, you know, probably for the rest of our lives, unfortunately, know each other, but that happens to the best of us. He's talking to me just casually and, you know, explaining how a lot of the older fans of supercars are actually getting left out in a sense. And they've got, obviously, you know, as you get older, you get a bit more wealth about you, generally speaking, and you got a bit more time on your hands, and you know, you feel like you can go to more events, got money to spend and shit like that. I kind of, in a sense, I'm going to pose the question to you. Do you think, like, just from what you've seen, do you think that supercars are almost neglecting, in a sense, these older generation of fans that were there throughout the early 2000s and all that?
I don't think so. I don't think they're neglecting them. I don't think they're really servicing them either.
No, yeah, well, that's a really good way to put it.
I've been saying this for a while of supercars not needs to forget about the old generation. Obviously, they're a huge part of the community.
Yeah.
And they need to be looked after. But supercars is doing a plainly straight up horrible way of engaging the next generation of fans.
Okay.
And as we were saying, we're seeing a lot of, you know, it's like, okay, you can put out as much heritage videos as you want, but none of it matters if none of the people targeting know who Jim Richards are.
Yeah.
Or Craig Lowndes, or like, everyone knows who Craig Lowndes. But you understand what I'm saying supercars doesn't need to do it. Across the board, the fan thing needs to be done better.
Yeah.
I don't really know how off the top of my head. But it needs to be done. It needs to be done more engagement. I think a big part of that needs to be. I'm going to try and not slip into the views of the next generation of fans here, because I've had strong views on that previously. Trying to keep this older thing here, but I think you're getting two struggles here. You're not getting service as well as supercars are trying to move away from some of the older things. We're trying to move away from a lot of the negative stuff. You get a lot of this. We both know people that won't even sit in a Holden or a Ford car.
Yep.
And there's a lot of people that take that way too seriously. I think supercars want to move away from that. But I just don't know how you service older fans, especially as technology moves on. You know, we get a lot of complaining about it's not free to wear anymore, or for most reruns, everything's on KO. A lot of people struggle to use KO, but that's all you can't. The Channel 7 don't want every round. There's not enough people watching Channel 7, and the Channel 7 product sucks. because you just watch
Absolutely.
ads. So,
Yeah.
man, maybe we need to think about this and come back to this on the next episode when I get a little bit more time. How do we solve the problem of servicing older fans? The more the more
How do we get best of both
already here
worlds?
fans, but at the same time we can't. We also got to start focusing on the new fans because the reality is probably that the current generation of fans watching everyone in in the current generation over 30, they're all gonna be gone 35 years, 40 years.
Yeah.
When we need to start cultivating the next 30 years because we won't have a sport. We won't have a sport if there's no one watching to watch the sponsors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
that's how it dies. So I think the negative stuff doesn't help either when you get this it does my head in a lot, which is socials like going, oh, there's no more fun, blah blah blah. Like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
No shit. There's no more fun holding the sport's moved on. It's gone. We can't
Yeah.
bring it back.
Times have changed, and that's okay that times have changed. But
There's no problem with times have changed, but we can't sit here. We can't live in the past. That's something this sport's got to let go. Okay,
yeah,
it's got a great forward holding heritage, but we gotta let go of this shit of living in the past.
yeah,
Because
maybe
it
close
won't
that
bring anything.
chapter and just like we might actually do a special on it of like how does all this kind of stuff work. Like what's the new chapter gonna be of Chev versus Ford, new fans, old fans kind of chapter.
If we want to bring back more mainstream, we need to get the drivers out there. We need to. As Will Brown was saying and Scott Pye's been saying this too on his podcast, Apex Hunters United with a friend of the show, Elliot Barber.
Yeah.
He's been really saying, well, I didn't say anything when I had a career because everyone cracks the shits and sponsors crack the shits. Everyone thinks supercars are censoring the drivers. Like everyone thought, supercars want to let SVG be SVG. No. Supercars don't care.
Yeah.
The sponsors care. The teams care because they don't want to deal with the sponsors having to complain because the driver said something negative.
Yeah, and
we need to find a way that we can have drivers be more open.
I think
the way that we both know, as we saw with the Tickford night, when there was no cameras, there was no media, there was no sponsors, it was just a bunch of people, the drivers and Aaron Noonan.
Yeah.
When you let them be themselves, they are really entertaining people.
Yeah, it was really good, and they were all together just having a fucking yarn.
That's what I mean. So we need to get.
Need to get their personalities.
We need to get the personalities out into the general media.
Yeah.
We need to get more general media coverage.
That will involve everyone.
We really need a Drive to Survive. Like they've done a few cracks at it, and they recorded one at They recorded a new series pilot during Bathurst 23.
Yeah.
Which apparently they've shopped around to a few different television companies to see if they want to pick up a full series. We haven't heard anything, so I'm guessing it has gone well.
Yeah.
But we need a Drive to Survive thing because as good as the Inside Line Fox produced program that's on YouTube is, about 3 seasons of it.
Yeah.
I never finished watching them, but the great if you're a die-hard fan and you really want to know what's happening at Erebus or Red Bull or Walkinshaw and Jody, the 3 teams they followed in those 3 years, but it really just need a Drive to Survive sort of thing to pick it up.
Fuck it. We should do a mini Drive to Survive of just one weekend where we throw it together and just see what happens. See if that will appeal to old and new fans, but fans in general speaking. I
think it's more you got to make it. It's got to be good and it's got to be accessible.
Yeah,
it's got to be something that's there. You can't go looking for it because the people that go looking for it are the people who are trying to reach people that want to be part of the sport. I think what we should the people that say, oh, we shouldn't be doing things with Formula One, blah blah blah. Like we're talking about going to Singapore and talking about going to Qatar.
Oh yeah.
From 25 onwards, that's what the public were saying. They are hunting to go on those undercards along with the Australian Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Oh, we shouldn't be doing it. Yes, we should. That's where the fucking new fans are coming.
Yeah.
Formula One's never been more profitable in its fucking whole life.
Trial and error. Like, could you imagine, say on Drive to Survive for one episode, and they do get the contract to Singapore and all this and that, and you get a clip of the V8s running around. How fucking sick is that going to look?
I think...
Shit, the fucking cat just scared the fuck out of me.
Copy. Yeah, look, so we just need to be... Formula 1's hot, we need to be striking that iron while it's hot. I said, maybe I should chat about this more next episode when we have some more time to think about how do we improve this shit. Like,
at least there's some raw thoughts. That's what I wanted to aim about getting it in today.
It's definitely an issue, and it would be incorrect to say it's not.
Yeah.
Just how do you solve that issue makes it hard. Fuck off the music during the grid walk. That would be a great start.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because if we can harness if we can appeal to both old and new, because there's generational differences in what everyone expects at an event.
Yeah.
But yeah, supercars want money, and you get money by having fans from old and new, especially older ones who have built up their time a bit through savings or whatever have you. And
I will say this: if you're one of these older fans that you don't like this DTS stuff and all this shit, I will say this: like, we both know DTS fans can say some fucking awesome shit, as stupid as they are, and that's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
But just bring them in. Just bring them in. Just talk to them because, like, okay, fucking out of 10 DTS fans, 8 are gonna fuck off eventually, and hopefully soon because Grand Prix prices are going out their ass. But two are going to stay around and become diehard fans and become one of us.
Yeah.
So just treat every DTS fan like it's going to be one of us in 5 years' time because we all started somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I remember when I kicked off, obviously you introduced me to it all. I didn't have a fucking clue. And to this day, I still don't have a clue about a lot of things, you know. I just fucking...
In general.
Yeah.
In general, we don't have a clue about a lot of things.
Yeah. Thanks, mate.
No worries. Cop that. Before we leave Supercars land, I think I'll give you a shit. You got anything more?
Well, no. Just, we're not actually leaving Supercars.
Oh, I meant like just the rate before we jump into all the news sort of stuff.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I just want to give a quick shout out to all the admins that work on the various social media pages over the last 3 weeks. Also, we just had the Darwin round with all the Indigenous liveries, and look, yeah, there's nothing wrong with criticism.
Yeah.
But there's some people that just come out and say some heinous stuff this time of year.
Not in any comical way, not in any good taste or anything.
Well, I'll just say it's straight up racist shit.
Yeah.
And then try and argue, going like, "Oh, I'm just being critical." Like, no, mate. I won't repeat what you said, but that was just straight racism. So
yeah.
Normally see a fair bit of this around. But the admins this year have been, and we copped it when we've done some posts about it. But the admins this year, across the Supercars page, across all the team pages and all that, really been on top of it. I think heaps of times I've seen like, whether it be like a post that might say it has 12 comments, but you look under it and it only has 10, so it's been cleared out. They've jumped on that quick and they've got rid of. Pretty much, I saw nothing nasty. I knew there would be nasty things being said.
Yep.
But the admins were that quick on it this year that pretty much no real negativity's hung around, which is good because that's one of the negative things that we want to drop this. I don't mean to use NASCAR as an example, but it is an example. We need to drop this sort of view because like I'm in a lot of NASCAR groups at the moment, especially with SVG and all that, which we'll get to later. And some of the stuff around, like, there is no conversation around Bubba Wallace that isn't just fucking foul. And like, I know Bubba Wallace isn't a great driver. I don't think highly of his driving skills because he's so fucking inconsistent.
Yeah.
But you read so much of Discord about it, and you're sitting there like, if he was any other driver, you would not be so harsh on it. And it's the same. You get the same when Diana Kirkpatrick comes up in those circles as well. Because while she was fairly decent in IndyCar, she actually once again watch the Josh Revel video about it. She was decent in IndyCar, her mistake was she jumped to stock car racing and didn't realise a lot of those skills do not translate
No, not for
into
shit.
a stock car, and she made a massive fuckwit of herself. And then she went back to the car, she was all right for the rest of her career. But it's sort of the same vibe of everyone comes down on Diane. There's so much heavier in those circles, and it kind of feels like it's not a fair reason why they do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've gone on a bit of a tangent, but I just want to give a shout to those. It is a shit job, and as we both know, we working in the social media space, that it can be a little bit 24 hours sometimes.
Yeah.
With checking comments and staying on top of stuff. So yeah.
Absolutely.
We'll move on to, I've got marked as a special segment. The FIA have revealed the new rules and regulations for the 2026 Formula One cars. What have you heard too much about this?
I haven't heard shit. The last kind of thing that I've heard about what the FIA were doing was those wheel covers that they scrapped for wet racing, but I'll pull up this article to just kind of see what they're doing.
Well, I can fill you in because I've read the article. So the cars are going to be 100 mil skinnier. Still not skinny enough. I reckon they should be way, way smaller, but better than nothing.
Mate, that's worth an overtake at Monaco right there.
Yeah, they're going to be a little bit shorter. They're going to run on 100% sustainable fuels.
Do we know who that fuel supply is? Who's come up with the chemical mix?
Each to every team. So obviously Shell's going to supply Ferrari.
Okay.
But there's going to be, I don't know how it works, but it's all got to be. They're already working on it anyway. I think Mercedes runs at this point 60% sustainable, so it's not too big.
Yeah.
It's going to be going to a 50-50 mix with the engines.
Yep.
So 50% internal combustion power, 50% electrical power.
Yep.
Or at the moment, it's about 80-20, with obviously the engine doing most of the work. The MGU-H, which is the component that uses heat to regain energy and is often known as the most unreliable piece of shit in the cars, that's gone.
Yeah.
Because that was unreliable shit, very expensive to develop, and that was a big reason why a lot of manufacturers don't want to come in. Because I think it cost Honda like $30 million to develop an MGU-H.
Jesus Christ.
And something like that. So that's gone. That's why Audi's keen to jump in, why Ford's keen to jump in. I think that was actually a stipulation of Audi joining, that they would not join if it was an MGU-H.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest rule change here is, so it's going to be called X mode and Y mode. So DRS is gone.
Yep.
Instead, we now have X mode and Y mode. To my understanding, this won't be in certain zones. This will be wherever they like to use it. Obviously, it's not around corners. So Y mode allows aerodynamic changes. So the rear wing will change like DRS, but not in the same way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the front wing will change to a less drag mode. And then when you hit the brakes or you disconnect back to X mode, as you wish, the aerodynamic changes will go back to a more heavier downforce drag system to increase cornering.
Yep.
It'll still work in the same way. They can only use it within 1 second of the car in front. And I presume in qualifying and practice as much as you like.
Yeah.
But that's the big thing of, both front and rear wing will be active aerodynamic.
Okay.
These will be two presets set up by the team, so it will either be one or the other. They can't. We're not talking about front wing changing from corner to corner or that. It will just be it'll be either going to a certain degree, depending which mode it's in.
Yep.
Skinnier front end tires. That's about it.
Yeah. Okay. That's good that they've released what's going to be changing.
It's still got to be signed off by a lot of people, but that's the general gist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking on tyres too, the rumour is that Pirelli are done with it, and that Bridgestone are very keen.
Yeah.
So the Pirelli deal runs out in 26 or 27.
Yeah.
So we might be having a tyre change, but we'll come close to that when it comes.
Absolutely. So that will lead us into our next talking point, which is WA government confirms street race plan.
No, you skip past.
Wow.
Before we move on to news, just this is very old stuff, but this is, like I said, we were originally meant to do this like 3 weeks ago. SVG back to back in NASCAR.
Good on him.
Yeah, so
Fucking go get
it,
mate.
I watched both races because the Xfinity races are in Sunday morning for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Portland race, SVG didn't have the fight. He just pretty much led that from start to finish.
Yep.
The Sonoma race was a little bit harder for him. Coming to the final corner, the first corner on the final restart with 2 laps to go, he doored Austin Hill and pushed him off, and that dropped him down the 5th, which is hilarious because Austin Hill pretty much did the same thing to him in Austin a few races ago, costing him a win. That's pretty much all to say about that. SVG what to do his normal celebrations by doing a burnout around the track, and Austin Hill kept trying to drive in front of him to stop him from doing burnouts.
You can never stop that man from doing a burnout.
How good is his celebration?
Oh, unreal.
With the football.
Oh, he's done it. What? Did he do that at his first or second race?
He didn't do that at Chicago, but that's a thing.
That was a fucking lot happening there.
The Xfinity race team he races with, I can't remember their name.
Yeah.
Because it's not the main team he races with in Cup Series. But they, all 3 of their drivers have a thing. Like, I think one guy, he has a watermelon or some shit he smashes. He gets out of the car, smashes the watermelon.
Oh, fuck, who's that? That's the bloke who ran along the wall, and got into the playoffs or whatever.
Maybe, I'm not 100% sure.
No, that is him. I'm telling you, that's him. Well, I don't know his fucking name. But yeah, no, I know, because his family's watermelon farmers. That's why he does it.
Oh, righto. And then I can't remember the third. I think the third celebration something to do with taco. He pulls out a taco and shoves. I can't remember. Anyway, that's SVG celebration.
What do you mean pulls out a taco and shoves? You
Something
can't end the sentence
about
there.
A taco. I don't know. I don't have the fucking article in front of me.
You can't say that and then not have what he does.
Do you know what? I fucking will. Yeah, but no, SVG just likes to sign a rugby ball and just punts it into the crowd.
Yeah, fuck it on him. I imagine whoever got that bowl will be that bowl.
Yeah, the
instantly increased.
I know the kid at Portland. Some kid got it.
Oh, beautiful.
They put a post up, and NASCAR shared the poster like this, and they got to frame it and stuff.
Yeah.
My favourite comment from reading that poster was someone saying it's not even an American football, so just hand it back. Like,
do you know what that fucking like?
Americans are kind of dumb, dude.
Yeah, I think there's just so many of them. The sample size of how many dumb fucks there are is just huge.
Oh yeah. Let's not get political, but let's just say 360 million, and Trump and Biden is the best 2 people they came up with.
Yeah.
Jesus, like, well, you're not even going to give Neil deGrasse Tyson a crack. I'm sure he could be better.
Yeah,
Let's give the space guy a go.
Let's get the old people out a bit, kind of thing. Let's get some fresh young blood in. Not people too young. Maybe someone in their 40s or 50s. Someone who's been around the block a bit. But
I saw a video the other day. It was like someone. It was here it was in America. It was like someone in America died. So this bloke that's like 112 is now the oldest person in America. And the top comment on TikTok was like, "Get that man into Congress."
Fucking oath.
Starting with NASCAR for a quick second, we also had Will Brown and Cam Waters went over and had a crack in the Cup race at Sonoma. Will Brown's car had issues all weekend. Had a bad qualifying because some EC drama that caused a 60% loss in power, something like that. So he qualified pretty much up the back somewhere. Cam Waters did alright. He out-qualified both his teammates, but the cars were shit, so he qualified like 20th as well, with his teammates being like 23rd and 25th. Actually, SVG was Cam Waters' spotter.
Yes, he was. I do remember that being... Oh, fuck. Because he was there racing Xfinity, obviously.
Yeah, the Xfinity race the day before, so...
Yeah.
So Will Brown's race didn't really last too long. He was forced to pull over at one point and do a full restart, so he eventually ended up like 3 or 4 laps down, just running laps.
Yeah.
Cam got caught up in an incident, which I'll talk about in a second, where that pretty much brought him to a dead halt, and then he got caught up in another incident, gave him some steering damage, and that was the end of his race as well. He finished, but he didn't... Oh no, so I take it back, he didn't actually finish in the number 60 Orcus car, because that was weird. But I've got a couple takeaways to take from it. Like the Xfinity race, that SVG one was really good. There was only about 3 or 4 cautions.
Yep.
So it was sweet. The Cup Series that had, I think, 8 cautions in the first 40 laps.
Yeah. Which
annoys the shit out of me, because I get the idea of the full course caution on an oval, because it's like a 40-second lap at some of the bigger ovals and 28 seconds at some of the short tracks. That makes full sense. That if there's an incident, full course yellow. Not maybe on a road track, because it was actually giving me the shits. For every little thing, they throw a caution, which was like a full safety car. Including like when Will Brown's car died, he pulled off to a runoff in the center of the track to let the field by, then restart the car and sort of zipped across that runoff to the entrance of pit road. So at no point was he stopped on track. He literally pulled off to a runoff, like behind a wall runoff, started the car again, spun around, drove literally across the track into pit lane. Full course caution.
It must just be because when we talk NASCAR, we're generally talking be lucky to be a 30-second lap kind of thing.
That's what I mean. Like, it makes complete sense on the ovals.
Yeah.
But on a track, like, I think this might have been like a minute fucking 30 lap.
Oh, so...
it's a proper road course scenario. Yeah. Like, have a look at it like after the episode. Like, a proper road course. Yes. And by the 3rd or 4th... Like, after the Will Brown one, which is the dumbest one easily.
Yeah.
I was just screaming at the fucking TV, just like, fucking throw a local caution.
Yeah.
Like, the Will Brown thing didn't even need a yellow flag at all. If it was run to FIA or Australian Motorsports Australia standards, that did not require a yellow at all.
It would require the marshal having it in his hand ready to fly. But
he didn't pull off to a runoff that was adjacent to the track. He pulled behind a wall, because like there's this teardrop area where the old pit lane used to be that's fully walled off except for a couple inches for the safety car.
Yeah.
Pulled behind that wall where the safety car was. Turned the car off, turned it back on, started again, just drove quietly around, and then drove straight across track into the pit lane entrance where they could start working on the car, trying to figure out what the gremlin was. That did not require a full course caution.
No, but they know one thing, and that's full course cautions. Like, it
just did my fucking head in.
Yeah, I know. As long as they throw that up, they kind of don't need to justify anything to anyone.
Yeah,
I would say
that and the ads. Apparently, so the NASCAR's just gone. They split their season between Fox Fox America and NBC. They've gone to the NBC part of the season now, which apparently is a lot better on the ads.
Yep.
But still, it's fucking frustrating. I generally fucking phased out of the Cup race at one point because there was just so many fucking ads.
You were just clenching your fists, white knuckles, just going.
I was just on my phone, just got fully locked in my phone because it just became white noise because it was just Burger King.
Yeah.
Even though the generic background noise of KO will be back soon. But before we leave NASCAR, one last thing. Right, you've seen the movie Cars.
Oh, fucking love it. Actually, we need to get around to watching that.
Yeah.
Oh
Right,
no,
so, but
the movie cast excites me. Yeah.
you know this scene, like the opening of the movie when Lightning McQueen's racing and there's that big wreck and Lightning McQueen sort of like closes his eyes and he goes zoom zoom zoom, like he finds his way through the smoke and comes out.
Yep.
Like in third place at the end of that.
Shit's flying all around him.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's a big bust up at the final corner. This is where Cam was his first incident where he got sort of stuck in the. It was a full parking lot incident.
Yeah.
It was smoke, the car was spinning, cars were crashing, and Cam Wars got rear-ended, the whole shit. And I just watched his, I think it might have been the fucking 24 car, something like that, try and weave its way through, like Lightning McQueen through the smoke, which worked great for the first 4 seconds, until it completely just fucking T-boned another car, and was ridden off.
I mean, maybe we should That just sparks an idea. Maybe we should do a side-by-side video of how both like Lightning McQueen doing it and then Cam doing it.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Cam, it was just another car.
Oh.
Like, Cam was in that incident.
Yeah.
Cam just like, the car in front of him just sort of stopped. So
Yeah.
Cam was just sort of, and then Cam got rear, so Cam had to wait for the car behind him to move so he could move.
Yep.
And then I just watched this guy just weaving through all this drama. And as he like tried to go around the outside, another car like tried to hook turn it, spin itself around. I just fucking bang.
Fuck. That's rough. That's a real
So,
rough gig.
I think we'll leave NASCAR land and move on to the news.
Yeah. All right. So we'll jump straight in. It's only a short one. This first article that we've got, but
Yep. Do you want me to read this one?
Yeah, I fucking lost the program.
I think you've skipped past one.
I am. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've got the WA government confirming the Perth street race plan.
Yeah. So nothing's set in concrete yet. There's a lot to be done.
Just a good bit of chatter, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, they've committed to it, but
Yeah.
obviously a lot way to go. Yeah. So there's planning to be a Perth street race around the precinct that surrounds the Optus football stadium, obviously home of West Coast Eagles and the Dockers.
Yep.
And is adjacent to the Crown Casino precinct.
And they also play a cricket test match there.
Yes, they do.
I don't know if we're just talking about facts of the stadium, and
Yes, it also looks fucking sick at night. You never see it because they're 3 hours behind us, but still. So that's not much else to say. The Queensland government's very excited by it.
Queensland government.
Western Australian government excited by it, but look, it's pretty much implied this will be the end of racing at Wanneroo.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit sad, but it is what it is. Not confirmed.
Time to move on.
There always could be a double header, but we'll wait and see. Ash, will move on to your next one.
Alright, well, keeping with the supercar vibe in a sense, we've got Craig Lowndes, who was beaten by the desert, which has happened to hundreds of thousands of, well, not hundreds of thousands, but thousands of people over the years. He was leading, who was he with? Just right, I did read this. He was with the Silverado, Chevrolet Silverado team in a production full drive. So I don't know. He said in one of his Facebook posts that I saw that they've been working on this program for a couple of years now. As it is saying that you don't just fuck around and find out with, you put time and effort in. And he had a good first day. His main rival was a Ford. I'm not sure if it was probably a Raptor or something. Yeah, there we go. The Ford Ranger Raptor, by Ford Performance, putting that car in. Craig actually had 4 minutes up at the end of the day one on the Raptor, but 39 kilometers into his second day, he had front suspension failure, which ended it all, and that was that for him. So yeah, but everything I was seeing through his socials and stuff, he was just happy to have the experience, really, and grateful for all that. So that's that bit of news. I don't really have anything to add.
I've got here Ferrari is considering switching to a Red Bull style suspension concept ahead of Hamilton's arrival. Reading through this is basically just obviously the Red Bull has a superior pull rod system, where Ferrari is currently running a push rod system. Ferrari's really tipping Hamilton to be the one that gets them across the line or to finally regain the World Championship. So that's, while not confirmed and only all speculation, that they are considering that for Hamilton's arrival at the beginning of the 2025 season. So,
nothing to add to that?
No, nothing really to add to that. I thought it was going to be a bigger story when I picked it. I was wrong.
That's right. I'll roll into the next one that we've got here. We've got Supercars planning the next US testing trip. So, as we all know, earlier in the year, they sent the cars over Christmas and New Year's and all that kind of time period. This year they are looking at heading across to the US in either late July or early August, following this Panasonic air conditioning Sydney Super Night. They're looking at several weeks over there. Just doing both aero and engine testing. So jumping it on the dyno, getting it into the wind tunnel. Giving it another once over, I guess. I'm not sure what the exact concerns are exactly, but if they're doing it, good on them. It means they're chasing something. I'm sure Grumpy Tim or Happy Tim, depends on his mood, will go across again with the cars for maybe a couple weeks. As I do remember actually at Darwin, he is very much on the data side of everything. He was saying when he got a slide interview that he actually, at Darwin, he knows all the setups of all the cars kind of thing. So I think this is very much in his wheelhouse, having all these cars getting tested and knowing the differences and trying to find the perfect parity. And good luck to him, I guess, because I'd imagine he's leading the charge on that. So that's all I have for that article.
Bit old. Toby Price and Paul Wheel have won the Baja 500 in Mexico by 7 seconds over from the closest car in their trophy truck.
Yep.
So that's not really much else to say there.
Alright. Then we've got roadworks to begin on the former Newcastle 500 circuit. So I didn't get a good read on this one, but I just quickly have a squiz. It's they're looking at putting a permanent roundabout at the intersection of where turn 7 was. So I think the 500's dead.
Oh no, they're well and truly dead.
Yeah, that's like a that's not a nail in the coffin. That's a screw in the coffin.
Yeah.
They
have burnt the coffin.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's cremation now.
Yeah.
So that event was good while it was, but yeah, they can't, like, the governments could change, it could come back, but now they're undoing roadworks if they do that in years to come, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So there's nothing there for them.
Supercars are considering so we don't have a calendar yet for next season, but we believe Sandown's going to stay on as a 500.
Yeah.
So we have 3 endurance events running, which means Supercars are considering bringing back the Endurance Championship, which runs as its own thing alongside the rest of the regular season.
Yep.
This is something they did all the way up to 2019. Obviously, 2020 changed all that, and with the loss of Sandown becoming super sprint with COVID and all that bullshit. So, so that's not confirmed, but they are considering bringing that back for the 2025 season.
Yeah. Taking
Next
us
to
into
yours.
our next article is the FIA koi on Ben Sul. Oh, I'm not on old mate Ben Suleiman. I can't even.
Solomon.
Um, in relation to the future of global karting under the current president Mohammed Ben Suleiman. God, that's a fucking hell of a name.
Oh, it's a shit
That,
name for a ship bloke.
yeah. Um, I didn't actually scratch up on this one too much, but it looks like they're just trying to get a roadmap of where they want karting, international karting, to go, and what it's going to look like in the future, and yeah, just I know they're looking at all the regulations and stuff, as far as I can tell. But
Oh.
yeah, it's just how Mohammed Ben Suleiman wants the future of karting to look. And so there's a bit happening there in the karting world. And that's all I
Right.
really have for that one. And
Then
then
the next story is
we got
that we have a
Chatter.
release date for the Brad Pitt Formula One project.
Yes, that release date is, what was it? It will be actually fucking very close to a year's time. Like just a few days off being a year. So June 25th of 2025, Warner Bros. Studios are putting that out. And then they're saying 2 days later it'll be available in North America. They've got, yeah, as you said, big stars. Brad Pitt. I think Lewis Hamilton is co-director.
Executive.
Executive. And they're just filming it as events as they go. And
Did you say they crashed one of the cars a few weeks ago?
I didn't see that actually.
Yeah, and not like a movie crash. Like they crashed one of the filming cars, the Formula 2. So they got Formula 2 cars that have been modified by Mercedes to
Look the part.
look like a Formula 1 car.
Yeah.
And yeah, they've crashed one into the wall like that Silverstone. Before jumping to the silly season, last story of the day, the FIA has dropped the age limit for a super license from 18 to 17. This immediately opens the door for Andrea Kimi Antonelli to possibly now he can take part in FP1s if Mercedes want him to be so. Or also this opens the door for him to, if required, possibly replace Logan Sargent at a drop of a hat.
Yeah. And that's... I think Sargent's fucking...
Well, look, Sargent's definitely gone. It's just a matter of when. He's not coming back next year. It's just a case of does he make the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. So that will take us into our silly season news.
Yep, so old news, because it's been a while, but Ocon is out of Alpine at the end of the season, which surprised no one, especially after the happenings at Monaco.
Yes.
That he's out.
Yeah.
So where he goes, fuck knows. I'll throw a dartboard. I really don't know where he goes. I'm thinking maybe Audi if Carlos doesn't go there, or Haas. I think that's his two options. Williams if he's desperate.
I mean, if you get kind of getting kicked out of a team in that kind of way, you just hang up the boots. You know, your time is done. You had a bit of fun. That's that.
Sergio Perez has signed another deal till 2026 with Red Bull.
Yep. So he'll see the new cars.
He'll need to see a car, but I understand that it's a 1+1 deal, so it's a 1 year with an option to opt out of the second year. So not everything is sealed a deal, but that's that. Yuki Tsunoda though, Yuki Tsunoda has signed on at RB for another year.
Yep.
Until 2025. That's the end of anything confirmed. We'll jump into enduro drives. We got some more announcements of that. Dylan, MSR have confirmed their lineups. Dylan O'Keefe will join Nick Percat in the number 10.
Also dropped their enduro livery, and they've got a couple of grid gears going with that too, with SB Tools providing those.
It's a bit of a throwback to it reminds me of SVG's Stone Brothers racing setup.
Yep.
So have a look at it. Have a look at his old FG Falcon.
Yeah.
Which actually will be later because you're coming over later to watch some 2011 races, so you get to see his 2011 FG Falcon.
Woo!
And then also they confirmed just a couple of days ago the Super Utes driver Cameron Crick will be joining. I think he did Super 2 last year as well. Will be joining alongside Cameron Hill in the number 4. And final bit of confirmed enduro driver news. Friend of the show.
Cameron McLeod.
Considering that he talked to us. Cameron McLeod. After that massive crash at Perth. Obviously, he's linked with the Premier team. That's a Premier Commodore. He's racing in the Premier Super 2 program. He's going to drive with Tim Slade in the 23 Premier Camaro.
Fucking oath. And that's... I would say that wraps up a pretty good episode. The only things that... like, final notes, final thoughts, I would say...
Well, final notes... Spanish Grand Prix this weekend.
Yeah.
So by the time this comes out, it should be qualifying day. Cause we're calling this on the Saturday. Probably should be out on the Sunday. If you're planning to attend the Victorian State Round, we will be there at Phillip Island.
Fucking oath. If you see us, just fucking shout out to us and we'll have a chat, see what's happening. Yeah. If fan, driver, team member, whoever, we don't care. We're fucking there to have a good time. And
like Kurt Cobain's brain matter, we'll just be floating around. So just come find us. We'll also be floating around the pub and cows.
All right.
Saturday night.
And on Dan's quick note there, we'll be around. Just if you see us, grab us, and also because of Dan's Kurt Cobain reference in this day and age, the lifeline number is 13 11 14. I feel like I need to put that in there now.
Nah, no one's gonna if you've reached this part of the podcast after an hour and 35 minutes,
13 and 13 11 14 is the lifeline number.
Oh well. Any final thoughts before we leave, Ash?
Nah, mate. Just excited for plenty of stuff coming up. I know we're just getting real stuck into it at the moment, so plenty of exciting shit coming up. Thank you for listening if you have listened this far, and hopefully you enjoyed this one. I think it might be our longest one yet.
It is by a mile.
Yeah, so...
I'll probably end up cutting 10 minutes out of it, but yeah.
Alright, well, fucking have a good one, everyone. Cheers for listening.
Alright,